All right, here's some more thoughts on the rationalization behind unilateral strength training over bilateral strength training. And if you guys follow the Flexi Bull on Instagram, he made an original post on this topic that got me thinking about it some more. But before I get into it, I just want to emphasize the point that I think it's a good idea to be strong on 1 and on 2 feet. But so many of the rationalizations behind why you should do unilateral strength training is very poor. Two examples that you've probably often heard would be something like most athletic or sporting movements are done with only one leg on the ground, or sports are never played with your feet squared up on the ground. And statements like these are often the premise for why unilateral strength training should be more important than bilateral. But this doesn't matter. The real difference between sporting movements and weight room exercises isn't a unilateral versus bilateral difference. The difference is ground contact times. The difference is the speed of the movements and the speed of the contractions. Things done in sports, jumping, cutting, sprinting, reacting with a reed hop, are done with very short ground contact times. Yes, they are often done on one leg, but the fact that they are done on one leg is not a point of significance. The arguments in favor of unilateral strength work being more valuable due to sports being played on one leg misses this entirely. If you compare a bilateral squat to a unilateral squat, whether it be a skater squat, pistol squat, reverse lunge, or anything else, and you match the relative loads to be equal, the ground contact times and the contraction speeds will be the same. But there will be a difference in absolute loads on the organism. And the bilateral exercise will have a greater absolute load. And it will place a greater force demand on the organism. So if you want to match the unilateral aspect of sport play, the ground contact times should be the same or similar. And if you're going to match the ground contact times of sport play, that means you can't load the body, because an external load on the body will inherently slow down the movement. And the other thing I want to address is the idea of getting stronger on 1 will result in an increase in strength on 2, more so than getting stronger on 2 will result in an increase in strength on 1. That is a made-up claim. What gets misunderstood and misinterpreted is that research has shown that unilateral plyos improve both unilateral and bilateral jumping performance, while bilateral plyos only improve bilateral jumping performance but not unilateral jumping performance. But that's a different thing than strength training.